Yeah, this is the trap for the intermediate people is they are past the beginner level where they're consistent and they go to the gym a lot and they're doing exercises to where now they start to listen to more stuff, hear more stuff, so that they start to try and experiment with different things. And now this is where like the silly exercises come in, or people are coming in and maybe doing sillier-ish programs and they aren't effective, and like you said, they're just wasting time. And then those people are getting frustrated because they're not getting the results they want, and they're trying to expand and explore and do different stuff. So it's a really tricky area and tricky level of fitness and health, because you feel confident in what you started off doing. So now you're trying to branch out and gather more information. And whenever you try to do that, you get some of this weird stuff that comes in, and you try things and you see if they work, and they maybe don't, or maybe they do, or maybe you think they do. And yeah, it gets kind of squirrely and weird with the intermediate level, because you have you have a little bit more confidence, and you have a little bit more of an idea of what you're doing. So now you try different exercises, and it just doesn't, I don't know, you don't understand it to the full scope. So now you have a little bit of an understanding, and you think you know, and then you start doing this thing, but really you don't understand or know. To me, it's the it's the dancer like lift your leg with your glutes thing. It's like, well, that's just not possible.
Yeah.
That's not how you do it. So yeah, there's a lot of exercises where it's like, I'm going to start doing this thing because it's really great for, they said it's really great for, whatever. And it's like, well, that's not even what that muscle does.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing it. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of more examples of exercises that would kind of fit that category, but
well, maybe
hard.
so like break down like bicep curls. Like I feel like biceps are one of those things, or even glutes, where there are so many different exercises. Biceps more being there are so many exercises where it's like, okay, but if you understood where the muscles are placed and where they contract, like we're doing like bicep curls like behind your head, like crazy things, to where then with the glutes, we're doing a lot of these little almost isometric, what should be triggering like isometric type of movements with the kickbacks and the bands. Like your glutes are built up of, it's 3 major, I guess there's like a tinier strand, but like it is a huge sheet of muscle that, to me, a huge sheet of muscle, I want to do a little bit bigger of movements because I have the muscle to be able to produce the force and produce that. I can't do hip thrusts with the same amount of weight that I can with bicep curls or tricep curls. Like the muscle is just simply smaller and won't be able to produce as much. You're looking
What's
at
a
me
tricep
like
curl?
Hey, some people are doing some crazy stuff. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like they're doing
wrong.
5 different bicep curls. It's like, just stick with the simple.
Well, and that's probably where the best example or advice is you're taking exercises and you're just doing 17 different variations of the same thing, when it would actually be more effective to do the traditional best way, most efficient way, and just change the tempo, change the intensity, change the volume, change the rep range you're doing it with the weight. It's like, but instead we want to do, bicep curls of, I'm going to do cable ones on the ground, then I'm going to do cable ones mid-level, then I'm going to do cable ones up top, and then I'm going to go over the preacher curl, and I'm going to do, full curls, and then I'm going to do partial curls just halfway up, and then I'm going to do just from the bottom to the halfway, and then I'm going to change my hand position to the inside, then change my hand position to the outside, then the overhand, then I'm going to grab dumbbells, I'm going to do hammer curls, and then I'm going to, lay on a bench and do those curls. And like you're just changing things that don't really matter and don't have a large effect on anything, to where it's like,
can you explain, like, why do all of those not have a different effect?
Well, because the bicep curl it's bringing your lower part of your arm up to your shoulder. And the most effect that you're going to get is by lengthening that out as much as you can. So your bicep connects your elbow to your shoulder. So if I can stretch out the shoulder area as much as possible, the shoulder area and then the elbow area as much as possible, and then curl that up, like that's where I'm going to get the most effect. So it's like doing something like preacher curl on the bench. You're getting a really great stretch, and you're also getting the support so that you can't swing and rock like if you were to just be standing, and then like sitting on the bench to having a little bit of a decline back. You're getting a lot more of a shoulder stretch in that position. So you're getting more at the top stretch, which is kind of harder to do, or the traditional ones we don't do. So you're getting more of a stretch up here along with the elbow. As long as you're extending all the way, you're getting enough, or you're getting what you need out of the stretch in the elbow area. And then curling from that position, or on the cable, same thing. You take a couple steps forward and you have the cable starting, or your hand starting behind you. You're getting a little bit more of a shoulder area stretch. It's just because the bicep, where it connects, is elbow to shoulder. That's why you want to focus on those. The origin and the insertion. But it's like biceps, you have two muscles there. Changing your hand position and hammer curl, supinated curl, inside, outside, it's like that's just a bunch of fluff that doesn't really matter. It's like just do the exercise properly and then put yourself in these positions where you're getting as much lengthening as you can, along with getting as much contraction and squeeze at the top. Like you don't need to be doing partials. You don't need to be, doing any of this crazy hand position stuff all the time. It's like it's hard for us to be supinated, our hands opened up facing forward. So just do that and just keep that position. The hammer curl thing even is like, you're not getting as much of a twist in the elbow and stretch in the elbow. So you're kind of letting
eliminating
that off
your range of motion almost.
Well, yeah, you're letting the tension off and the stretch off a little bit. So you're not getting as much of an effect. You get maybe a little bit more of a forearm work with that, which is beneficial and can be okay.
Different grip strength, potential wrist strength.
But like you can get that from pull-ups, all your back exercises. You're getting that from deadlifts.
Still getting it from regular curls.
Yeah, you're getting in regular curls. You're still getting it. So, but
that is where I think that this is the medium. Like only the medium group really gets.
Yeah, they get trapped in this, tricked silly by this. Things. It's like I'm going to do 17 different squat variations, and 17 different lunge variations, and I'm just gonna do a bunch of weird random stuff, because that's what you're seeing, and that's what's being presented to you all the time. It's like that's why I say you're getting trapped. It's not like it's necessarily your fault. You don't know, you don't have the knowledge, and you have a bunch of people saying like, you got to do these types of curls and these types of squats and whatever. And it's like, well, no, you don't. The things that you should be more focused on is maybe increasing weight, because you've been staying at the same weight for forever. Or I only ever do 5 reps, 10 reps, or 15. Well, it's like, what if you do 6? What if you do 7?
Or how many girls do the holding the weight out in front of them with their heels on plates, and they just keep adding plates and adding plates? It's like, go do front squats.
Yeah.
Go put a bar on your shoulders and do front squats.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then there's that. There's so many of those things where it's like you're avoiding things that you don't like. And that's why you're getting all of this variety in your workouts, is because you feel like you need to do something else, but you're avoiding the things that you should do. You don't do deadlifts because you hate them and because they're hard, but I'm going to do, all these weird elevated platform squats
and lunges.
Yeah. All these different random things where it's like, go deadlift. I'm avoiding squats because they're barbell squats because they're hard. I don't like it on my back. It hurts on my back. It's a weird hand position. My shoulders hurt when I do it, blah, blah. It's like, well, then you need to learn and you need to figure out how to do them effectively so they don't hurt, and so that it doesn't sit on your back weird and hurt your back. Because like
now you could be missing a mobility issue that you have that you don't realize.
It's just you avoiding the things that you don't want to do. And you do that by doing 17 different bicep variations. And
I think this is a funny phase to be in. It's the awkward phase, because I feel like people do
It's
all
the middle
these,
schooler phase.
yeah, they do all these different variations and all these different kind of waste of time exercises because they are at the point where, like I said, they go to the gym consistently. They don't have the behavior problems. So now they're going, now they are getting stagnant and they want to mix it up because they want to keep it fresh and keep it fun. So now they're doing 17 different exercises within their hour workout versus just keeping it at the what they started with and the basics and the foundations. And they're getting out of the beginner gain phase. So now you do have to pay a little bit more attention to your programming, and you do have to be a little bit more strategic and methodical with your nutrition and how you're going into the gym and what you're trying to push forward, what stimulus are you sending, that you can't just kind of shotgun approach. You can't just throw anything at the wall and it'll probably work. You have to be a little bit more sniperish about it. That's where you start to venture into all of these weird type of exercises because you're not seeing the results as much. So you start just mixing up the workouts versus mixing up intensity, volume, nutrition, and overall movement, or an understanding of your anatomy to get the most out of the exercises that you're doing because you're understanding how your body is actually moving within them.